You're watching Weekend at Gabe's and I'm Weekend Gabe. This latest episode was brought to you by the good folks over at the Ghetto Flower. Use our code W at G for an exclusive 15% discount when visiting their site. Tell them I sent you. Now enjoy the show.
Yeah, we've been anxiously waiting all night for DJ King Marie, who has an extensive history in music, fashion, art, design, DJing. I mean, she's checked off all the boxes in the music industry,
Listen,
and
I
is
I am totally fine with going out on this limb, and this is true.
Can you hear me
DJ,
now?
yeah, we got you loud and
Like,
clear.
bet.
A Chicago legend joins us,
Like,
King Marie, with the new album 222 out everywhere. It is absolutely fantastic to have you. How are you doing tonight?
thank you. I am blessed. I am live from Baltimore. It's my first time
Hey,
here, so it's a
listen.
little later here, East Coast time, but had to make it. Make sure I
l-
was here for y'all.
I appreciate
Listen,
it.
I don't know where you're at, but if you're downtown, you have to go by like the boardwalk and where the river is at, or the whatever
It's
the lake. I don't know what
beautiful.
it is. It's absolutely gorgeous. The food there
It
is amazing. Be careful because it does turn into The Wire real quick, depending where you're at. I mean, listen. I did a walking tour of one of the communities, and it looked just like the backdrop of The Wire. And I'm like, all right, it's real out
It's
here.
crazy. It's real. I've had like the best tour guide though, so I've been able to experience the city in like every light. So shout out to Baltimore. Everybody's so kind. I've just been enjoying
Uh,
myself.
oh yeah, I had a great time out there about 5 years ago. All right, but we brought you on. You got the new record 222, but you also got so much stuff that you have done in the last like 12 years. So we're gonna try to wrap it all up in about 27 minutes. Brace us.
Wonderful.
But let's talk about the new record first off, because this is really your first sort of entry into being a rapper and showcasing the bars, really putting it up front and letting people know that skill level that you possess. And I know you also spent 2 years working on this record and putting it together, which
Yeah.
also wraps up in 22 minutes. So the
Lot of twos.
preciseness,
There's a lot of twos
yes, there's a
going
lot of
on.
twos. Well, like Jay-Z, 22 twos. Get it?
You
All right, never mind. But talk about this record. The time you put into it, the effort, what you were trying to hope and get people to recognize about all the great things you already do.
It's crazy. I think so I was an artist first and then DJing came secondary. So
Sure.
just for all of it to be full circle now has, kind of been the unconscious goal, I guess. But for 222 it was really special for me because I started in 2020, like during pandemic, you know what I mean? And I flew to LA and quarantined in LA and made music with my friends. And it was, I think during quarantine, it was a specific time for me to really be honest with myself and like ask myself if I was really happy with where I was at. And when the world stopped and, everyone was like DJing on Twitch, it wasn't for me. You know what I mean? Like I did
Right.
live streams, but it just didn't bring me the same joy. And so I asked myself, like, if tomorrow wasn't here, like, am I glad with what I've done? And I felt like I needed to put out more music. And so that's kind of where that started. And I had the time, like, I mean, 2019, I was booked and busy. Like, there was no time for me to be in the studio. I was literally flying everywhere. And I mean, I put out a project, I put the Prelude out in 2019,
Right.
but,
Right.
when 2020 hit, when quarantine hit, it was just more like I had to reflect and I needed to do all of the things that I didn't get to do. You know what I mean? Like I really was grateful for each day. Just still now, like I think it really just changed my mind in a way where I had to do it for myself. Like I wanted to. I've been rapping. But I never
Yeah.
put out rap records because everyone knew me as a singer. So I think
Sure.
this was 222 was for myself. You know what I mean? First and foremost, and like being able to get the records out, and like being independent. I'm self managed, self funded, self everything. Just you know what I mean? Like when the king title is placed, it's because there's a lot that goes into that, and I don't think people understand all the back end work that comes with being the person in the front also. So
Right.
there's a lot of records on there. There's house records, there's R&B, there's rap records, and I just didn't want to like place myself in a box when it came to my sound, especially when this is like my sophomore project, so I wanted to explore, like if,
Mm.
Yeah.
if I was going to do it, I was going to show the growth from the first project. So it's really special to me, man. It's different, and I had to realize, like, not everybody's going to get it. Not everybody's going to understand like where I was going on this project, but I just wanted to make sure I did it for me, and it's
Hell
out,
yeah. Hell yeah. And it should be noted, not only is the album called 222, but runs at exactly 22 minutes, which makes it an incredibly enjoyable listen. So huge shout out to that. I just wanted to back off of that, of the DJ thing. Obviously booked and busy in 2019. Was it seems like the artistic side of things and making your own music was sort of your first true love. And you saying, I needed to do something for me makes a lot of sense. Was DJing something that almost grew out of necessity? You talked in other interviews from years ago about moving to New York and needing to do more, like as far as get outside. So like DJing just evolved as a way to sustain yourself to that extent?
Well, it was like when I moved to New York, I stopped making music. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't realize, I was real naive in knowing that I would then have to pay for studio time, pay for beats, and didn't know anybody in that lane, but I knew DJs. I had my older brother's friends that like took me under their wing, and that's kind of how the DJing started. So DJing started as a way for me to still express myself through the music, you know what I'm saying, and make money. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when you're an artist, it's like it's hard to fund everything. You know what I mean? Like you got to work to fund this part. So it's like, kind of living two different lives. But
Right.
I'm very grateful for DJing because it saved me in a way. Like I was still able to do music. And for a long time, I thought I was done making music. I thought I missed my boat. I had friends that were getting Grammys, that were getting nominated, and so like it plays with the artist's mind. And I had that was a whole nother thing of just trying to get over that. Like, so the prelude, I named the prelude what I did because I knew that it was just the beginning. So like that was like, okay, I got to do this. We're back. And then putting 222 out was just kind of a stamp of being like, we're here. My angels are guiding me. I'm her. And I'm always exactly where I'm supposed to be,
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
And when you have a hobby and you make money off of it, it becomes a job. You know what I mean? After a while, like, so I do very much love DJing. Like I do, but I had to take a step back from it and fall in love with the craft all over again. And that's where I'm at now. Like I'm able to travel with it and meet different people and play in front of different crowds and like get that confidence back in a way where it's like, it's not that I don't know that I'm great at what I do. It's more like, it's fun again. I need it to be fun again. Like I didn't need it to just be a job anymore. I needed it to be like, oh, okay, like, yeah, I'm supposed to be doing this.
I love that answer because it's a perfect mirror reflection of Heartcase, who was before
Right.
on the front end, who had just talked about how much he needs to maintain the fun of what he's doing. So that's awesome.
Do you feel like that's just a part of the plan though? Like when you think of all the other things that you've had your hands involved in the music industry, from being a performer to a DJ, to the booking aspect of it. And last week we had Chicago artist Ivy Halavana, who also books and hosts her own shows and does that. And she was just saying how much it makes her a stronger artist and a performer. Do you kind of feel like you going through that journey from New York to LA, back home, sort of re-cementing yourself, like that was part of the journey to make yourself the strongest King Marie that you could be right now?
Oh, of course. Every part of the journey has been necessary, like I don't think I'd be me without any part of it. There's nothing that I regret. I could write a whole book. Like my career, I feel like my career is really just starting, like I have this much of my career that I could write a book on, but like in the larger spectrum of what's going on, like I'm just getting started. So it almost makes you like how hungry are you? Like how much do you want it? You know what I mean? Like sometimes it is envious, like it is envious for like artists to have managers and booking agents and, you know what I'm saying, a whole team all the time. I'm grateful for community. Like what I had to realize is that I don't necessarily have any of those things, but I have people that love me and want to see me win and that will answer the phone and are excited to work with me when I got a good idea and I get them paid. And you know what I'm saying, like I'm running a whole business by myself, but it's also because people want to do it with me. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm grateful for community, and honestly, all those other things will come if they're supposed to.
Hell yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see about that. But if anybody want to match me, like let me know. Hit my line, hit my email.
No, that was one of the things you said in another interview. You said, and I quote, "Yeah, I do music, but I'm really trying to build community."
Yeah.
And I know that there was some trepidation, especially when you came back to Chicago from LA, that you it was a one-way ticket. You didn't know if you was going to head back to LA. You didn't know if you was going to stay in Chicago. But I feel, I mean, your roots run deep in this city. I mean, just going through the research, you've had shout outs from the mayor's office, from the Chicago Fire. You did a Foot Locker spot for All-Star Weekend 4 years ago now, which seems crazy. 2018 was 4 years ago. But do you feel like the work is done now? Like,
no, I don't. For me, the work is never ending, right? Like, especially with like, for me, it's all about community. It's about the youth and empowering kids, because like really that's the future, right? So I like again, like I feel like to me, it's like even those like those are all credible, great things. But for me, I'm like, man, it's not enough. I haven't done enough. The city hasn't changed like one bit. Like, you know, like I really just want to make sure I'm doing my part. You know, billboards and like there's been so many things. I've had so many great opportunities. Like Chicago is, I have it tatted on me twice. Like I love where I'm from and I wouldn't be me without this city. I've lived in, you know, in New York and LA. And coming back home is always a home, it's always a homecoming. It's my favorite place in the world, period. You know what I'm saying? Like I always like try and tell people like it's everything you need from a big city. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, like there's other where you have to like know, you have to be with the people though. Like you have to be with the people to know where to eat, to know where to like party, to know where to walk through, like, you know what I'm saying? But overall, like the work is never done. I'm gonna keep fighting for everything I believe in until then, and I'm gonna keep, you know, creating until it's time to go. You know, like I don't think, I think I'm just here to create. Like I think most creatives are that. Like we're here to create because if we didn't, then we wouldn't be breathing. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. Like I feel useless. Now I can't do that. I can't do that. There's too much to be done. So.
Well, where does that work ethic come from? You know, you talked about the story of your mother immigrating to America from the Philippines, and then creating like building out her own business, creating a lounge, a restaurant area, and then you yourself, like you've demonstrated like all the great things that Sam mentioned that you were given accolades for. But you're also an ambassador for, you know, women's empowerment campaigns, the Nike Women's Air Society campaign. You do all these great things, as well as the Philippine X event that you do to highlight other Filipino creatives, and this is what Asians look like. Like, how much more can you put on the King Marie plate? Like, because you say like you like, because you're like, there's always work to do, but it feels like
I know,
your
right?
workload is already like big.
Yo, first of all, shout out to y'all because this is the most anybody's ever really researched. I'm like, damn, I did the wow. Like I'm listening to you like, oh shit, I didn't even know that. You know, big Virgo energy. You feel me? Like I think
Team Virgo over here, let me know.
Well, you understand. I think the way my mind works is just like I was telling my friend today that I'm trying to do better at like putting a big project out and basking in that. Then going to the next project and then basking in that. And like really taking the time to honor all of those things. Cause like you said, like you naming all those things, I was like, damn, yeah. Oh yeah, I did. Oh yeah, I forgot all about that because it's like I feel you. It's crazy to think I always feel like I'm not doing a lot or not enough, and then I'll tell somebody what my week looks like, and like I'm in 5 cities this week. Do you know what I'm saying? Like just like I'm on my own tour, like, and really just, like all of it included, like work, like meetings, and taking the like being in other cities while I'm in another city. So I just don't think that I'd be able to function any other way. Like this is just how I've pictured my life to be, and I'm able to like live in it. So whatever I have in my mind has been able to like I've been able to manifest it in real life, or like be like, damn, there's an issue here. Well, somebody got to do the work. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I have this music in my head, like I got to put this out or I'm gonna explode. Like, there's a party that doesn't exist. Like these people need to party. Like I have big brothers,
Yeah.
I have 2 big brothers that are DJs. Like you know what I'm saying? Like my mom is an entertainer. Like I'm in the business of like entertaining and giving to people. Like that's just
Yeah.
what I'm built for. So if I'm not doing that, then I feel like I'm not doing anything. And so, there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot more to be done. And I think everything that y'all mentioned are it's the baseline of what it's supposed to be. So I just, I want to be 80 and have grandkids that I could tell, like, like we started this foundation or we started this nonprofit. And I think it's been beautiful, like to have these little from like real grassroots, like from the ground events, and for the community. But in the larger spectrum of things, I'm like, yo, I need grant money. Like I'm just learning how to really make it be something significant, because at this point I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's cool, that's a party. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we started that 6 years ago, like that's cool, but what else? So
Right.
yeah, there's more. I mean, yeah, the plate is heavy. We're eating. It's a Thanksgiving meal, but at the time, like we still got to do some more. So it's
Fair.
just finding me off. I'm like,
That's what we do here on the show.
right,
Research is what we do.
right.
Let's talk about the community that you made that appears on this album. Obviously, FemDot showed up at your listening party. Seems to be a huge part of your life. Mother
Right.
Wada, who absolutely bodied that track. I think that was my favorite one off the tape. Talk about the community of these artists to put on. Why are these people on this album?
These people are on this album because these people believe in me. They believed in me when they didn't have to, and I think because I do so many things, sometimes it's hard for me to feel like people take me seriously. You know what I'm saying? As an artist, because it's like, oh, she's a DJ. Like I get that. Like I get the. At first, I'll be real. At first, I was real resentful for it. But you know what? Like the amount of work I put, the 10,000 hours I put into DJing, like it needs to transcribe to the artistry. So I'm not gonna be mad for people like acknowledging the DJ shit, because yes, I'm her when it comes to DJing, and I'm gonna stand on that. Like I'm proud of myself. Like it's been a long time that I've put into this craft. But for
Right.
the artistry, it's just like I get it now. Like, you know what I mean? I gotta show out even more so. Like I gotta put out more music. I need people to hear me. People need to see me perform at shows. People need to see me perform while I'm DJing. You know what I'm saying? Because I can do all of those things. So these people are not only like, I have the most talent in my head. I'm like, yo, I have the most talented friends on the planet. Like I know some of the most talented people on the planet, and I'm so grateful to know them personally. Fem is, one of my I'm like one of Fem's biggest fans, but at the same time it's like, like that's my dog. Like, you know what I mean? Mother Water in LA, like that's my sis. Like there's Dave Koresh on production, Chris Ray on
Oh,
production.
Dave Koresh, that's
You know
hell
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Me and Dave started music together. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Yep.
been a long ride with these people. Like we've seen each other's growth and supported each other. And it doesn't have to be about where everybody's at in their careers or in their life. It's like, yo, we make music together because that's what we do. You know what I mean? Like this is how we spend time together. This is how we connect. And to have something beautiful come out from that, like is even more so. And it's like I've been able to work with, Ru Are You is on Straight Gas with Wasil. Rob Foreigner, Matt Audio Dope. Like I literally have such amazing people in my pocket, and they're across the country. Like it's not like, you know, like there's a lot of Chicago folks on here, there's a lot of Filipino folks on here, Jay Arthur. Like I literally am so grateful for there's so many people on this project, and there's only 9 songs, and I think the longest record is like 3 minutes, 3:30 or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like these people like really held me up. What I need y'all to know about this project though is like also part of the 2 years was the growth that it took for me to be who I am. Like I started these records, like King 2.0 was the first rap record that I recorded like as like a real record. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we were like, oh, intentional, like, oh, this is about to be a record. But it took so much out of me. And I think it was like, you know, like I went through a breakup at that time. Like I left Chicago to like really clear my mind in LA. And you know what I'm saying? Like I was sober through all of it. I don't think people don't talk about the growth enough. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like on the back end of artistry, it's just like, you know, like people really pouring out and putting their pain into making something beautiful so that it can help heal the back end of just being a human being. You know what I'm saying? So it literally, like the records on this project, like these people had to pull it out of me. Like Chris Ray, Dave Koresh really put me through a artist boot camp. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like an artist boot camp, like say that shit with your chest. Like, you know what I mean? Like literally had to put me through boot camp, but I needed that. You know what I'm saying? I needed that. It pulled the best artistry out of me at that time. So that's why I'm like, yo, like these records are 2 years old. So for me, I'm like, I can't wait to get back in the studio. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't wait to work on a real album. Like this was supposed to be an EP, but you know how like 9, then it gets to 9 songs, but it's still under 30 minutes. So like it gets confusing. But to me, this is still my second EP. I'm excited to work on the album. I can't wait to like showcase who I am now as a woman and as an artist, and the confidence that those 2 years of making 222 brought me to this place now. Like I believe how these people believed in me when I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like I really was halfway in, halfway out. Like clearly I was there and present, and you know what I'm saying? But I was scared. I was singing and rapping, like, you know what I mean, without my full chest, until Dave Koresh was really like in my ear, like, yo, like, say that shit, like,
go get it, go get
it, like, do that shit. You know what I mean? So, man, these people are amazing, and all of them are single-handedly incredibly talented just alone. So I'm just honored. I'm honored to have these people on my project, man. Like,
hell yeah.
Before we get to some fun stuff, I know Sam has a couple questions. I really want to ask a quick question. You don't have to spend too much time on it. Okay. But we've had like we did a DJ week last year. And then we're friends with DJ Cash Era here in the city. And they often talk about like how women in the community of DJing and how that could be sometimes difficult and challenging to navigate. You've been doing this work across obviously state lines and different cities. Is that still a bit of a challenge? You were recently in an interview, you were talking about like how that is still a challenge as a DJ to fight just to be a DJ. Is that still a fight that you're having?
You know, it depends. Honestly, it depends. I think what I will say about being able to DJ now, and maybe it's because there's a lot of accolades behind that as well, but just in general, like the parties that exist now didn't exist 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that we can throw our own party and just play, you know, world music, like that idea of like freedom of playing as a DJ didn't exist. So I think, yes, I think there's always going to be challenges, like regardless, you know what I mean, in terms of being a woman, and fighting to get paid the same as a man. I mean, fuck being a DJ, like women just don't get paid as much as a man still. We're in 2022. So there's a lot of fucked up things about, you know, about the idea of a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the idea, because realistically, it's like, you know, we don't have to get into that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm in a whole interview with two men. Like, and y'all support. I'm never gonna tear down men that support women.
Hey, you can bash us, bro. You know.
It's more just like we live in a reality where we're just not seen the same, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just not that. Women's, you know, bodily, our body rights are still not even our own to have a say of. So there's gonna be a lot of challenges that come regardless, but I think the beauty of it is women put other women on, and it's the most beautiful thing that I've been able to see. There wasn't a lot of women DJs I could look up to when I was starting, you know what I mean? So for me to now be in the game later and have I could name 25 women DJs that could kill it. That could kill any party. It doesn't matter what the genre of music is. They could kill any party, and it's been beautiful to be able to do it with them. Also, shout out to Cashera. That's my little sis. I love her so much. I'm so proud of her. Her specifically, like, just there's so many women in Chicago alone that I think have made a name for themselves and have put each other on. And I think it's from the concept of being counted out. You know what I mean? Like that it makes you hungry to be like to fight even more so, like, for what we deserve and to make sure that we're doing it together.
Hell yeah.
Got it.
One last fun question before we get out of here. We'd like to ask a little fun one at the end. You told this incredible story about a pair of Pippins that you had to give to your cousin off of your feet out of the kindness of your heart. And I can tell that you've worked at Converse. You sold high-end heels, but you always had this love of sneakers. So my question is, what is the elite shoe? And I like to take this from two angles. The first angle is your favorite shoe that's in your collection right now. So that's number one. And then number two, your favorite shoe you wish was in your collection.
Ooh. Let's see. Well, I have small feet. So a lot of the ones that I wish I could have didn't come in my size.
You want to name names? You know, we can put people on blast. I know you tied up with Nike, but we can throw Adidas under the bus here. You know,
never. We don't throw people under the bus, okay? It's all love on this side, you know. And I like the bag from every end, so we don't bash nobody. It's all love on this side. I wish I could have Nike Yeezys.
Like you talking about the Red Octobers?
Well, the Red Octobers, I also would love the tan and the black and pink.
Yeah.
The Nike Yeezys. They didn't, I don't think they came in my size. I'm a 5.5, 6 in women. So, I mean, in youth. So them would go crazy. I would bust a whole fit with all of those. Cause I'm just not a fan of Adidas Yeezys. Like this is not bashing Adidas, just
Adidas, she can still get the bag. Don't worry. You know.
Full opinion. They're mad comfortable. They just not like the silhouette just isn't like, I'm 5'2", like they just not for my foot. That's just based off the silhouette. My favorite Nike silhouette period is the Air Rift. Just in general, like I just love how they fit. Like it's such a comfy summer shoe. It was originally a water shoe, you know what I'm saying? And it's like it's over the years has had different models or different like silhouettes in the shape of the models, but the original Nike Rift, man, the split toe, it's not for everybody, but it's just like, I don't know, it's my favorite silhouette. It's so fucking comfortable. And it's like a sandal, sneaker, shoe, water shoe. You know what I'm saying? Like at once. Jordan, like I'm glad this wasn't like a Jordan question, because like that's a whole nother question by itself. Like that's a whole nother question by itself. But yeah.
Word. Did you give us the one in your closet, or that was just the one that you wanted?
The Nike Rift. That's the one.
The Nike Rift's the one in your closet. Okay, perfect.
Also, real quick, what's that? Is that a mannequin?
That's Spock. Spock in the back, you know,
Okay.
keeping you cozy and comfortable.
Oh, okay.
But
I see it now. I was like, the show, like, it's so real. It's too real. All right.
it produces a reaction from people, and that's why he stays in the back. You know, even at work, I got Spock in the back.
But the uplighting on him is and everything. I like it. I fuck with it. All right. Good to know. Good to know. Thank y'all for having me, man. This was so much fun.
Appreciate you giving us your time, especially while you're on the road, DJ King Marie. Thank you so much for giving us your time. Good luck going forward, especially on the road. We can't wait to see you. Hopefully, you'll do some shows in the summer in the city, and we can come out and rock with you.
Show's
That'd be
coming
fun.
soon. I appreciate y'all.
Hell yeah.
All right, DJ King Marie tonight on Weekend at Gabe's. That's gonna wrap up our show. Heavy hitter show. Listen, it's not
Heavy
very
hitter show,
often.
man. We got two Chicago legends, and if you ask the kids, they're gonna say Hartgate's a legend already. And if you ask anybody on the street walking around who DJ King Marie is, who King Marie is, who the new album is about, they gonna let you know what it is. So I think the city just has an incredible amount of love for both of these people, and to hear her talking about community, it was so encouraging to hear that the work's not done. You know, there's a lot more to come. And I also want to give her a huge shout out for giving us the compliment on the research, because that is why we do this. So I'm glad that we could give her a good interview, because Vocalo didn't. Looking at you, Vocalo. How's it going?
You guys have had better days.
How you guys doing out there? Is it all right? You guys gonna do another shitty interview next week? Is it cool? All right.
Definitely have better days. All right, let's preview Thursday night. Who we bringing in?
We got coming in from the South, from Nashville, Tennessee, singer-songwriter Cassette Lunsford will be joining us at 8 o'clock. And at 8:35, Gabe, we have an incredible comedian.
Thursday Thunnies, Cecilia Gonzalez, our first Latina comedian, is going to grace Weekend at Games. 123 episodes later, we're getting around to knocking that off the first of. So, you know, we're trying. We're doing our best here. Listen, you know, we try to get the yeses, and she confirmed with us. So I'm really looking forward to that, because we haven't had that experience yet. So that should be really fascinating to see her perspective of comedy. And how she approaches it. So, yeah, big show on Thursday nights, and then we'll be back at it. So let's wrap up. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to follow us on these socials. Don't forget to follow us on these socials at Weekend Gabe, the real Sam Crane and the Ghetto Flower. And also head over to the Ghetto Flower and use our W@G code for 15% off all purchases of $50 or more. And get yourself this really fly Ghetto Flower shirt that's really comfy and is going to attract all the sun this summer and make you lose at least a few pounds. So it does that. It does that. You won't find that in the description, but it does it.
Things we know that it does, for sure.
Exactly. All right, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll see you on Thursday. Don't forget to share, support, and show love. And if you got any house music, there we go. All right, everyone.
You have to say share, support, and show love to cue the house music. The house music doesn't just play when Weekend Gabe's brain says it will play. That's not it. No. It's very cute. We're very professional. God damn it. America, we're back on Thursday. We'll see you soon. Until then, stay safe out there and put the guns down. God damn it.
All right. No shit, right? Peace.
Thank you for watching the latest episode of Weekend at Games on YouTube, brought to you by the Ghetto Flower. Make sure to also click on the links in the description for more information to our guests and access to exclusive new music from the Ghetto Flower and so much more. Make sure to also like and subscribe to the show, and also continue to share, support, and show love by clicking on any of the links surrounding my head. Thanks for watching.